All right, here we go. Yeah. All right, everybody. Vader Saber 1984, also known as that drunk guy in his bullshit opinion, doing the live thing. Last time I tried to do it, it didn't go through at the show last Saturday, not this past Saturday. But I have one guy who I cannot get on there because his schedule and his very busy
Look, I drink a lot. I sleep a lot. Sorry.
with. Yeah. So I have none other than Blake the Extreme Turner with me. Brother from another mother, brother from another father. Somehow we came out. All right.
The DNA results are still in the mail. It's weird.
Yeah, right. I'm not giving into that shit.
All the hair he lost, I found.
SpongeBob. Anywho, I wanted to get Blake on here just for a little bit. I know it's live, but how did you originally know about me? How did we meet? And let's get the backstory.
Oh, so we're doing the origin story.
Let's do origins.
So origin story. So, shit. I was either 19 or 20,
No, it was Mackenzie.
but we don't remember that. We know we did, but we don't remember that.
Correct.
We talked about it.
Correct.
So, like I'm sure other people can have similar experiences. Like, oh, well, I met, like you meet some person years later. Oh, well, I used to hang out with so and so. Oh, we had to have met. You just don't remember, right? That's kind of the same thing.
You were two
Junior high.
classes lower than me.
No.
Yeah, I have the yearbook.
Same motherfucker. You ain't in my yearbook.
I am. 1998 yearbook. I was 8, or yeah.
Apparently,
I
I
was 8 and you were
really
6.
need to stop drinking. Anyway, so we figured out that we probably very likely met and just don't remember. But when we officially met, officially met was at 50th Street Caboose, both in the kitchen.
Yep.
And we bonded over.
Laziest cook you ever fucking met back in 2003.
But because I was a lazy cook, but I had a good memory, I became a great server and bartender, which is where I'm at now.
Very true.
However, we bonded over a very off the cuff, just random phrase. I was talking to someone else, brought up wrestling, and his ears peaked up. Wait, you like wrestling? Dude, I fucking love wrestling, man. And we just kind of just went from there, kept building up. Eventually, he met some friends of mine from high school that we used to backyard wrestle with. They became, brothers to him, like family essentially, and just kind of built from there. Now,
You are the reason that I was ever a part of XBCW.
yes,
You are
and
essentially.
we fought a leprechaun,
Everybody had to.
a Mexican leprechaun,
Everybody had to fight the leprechaun.
and it was
So,
weird because he didn't have feet, but he had knees.
He only wrestled on his knees.
Yeah, well, he didn't have feet.
Touche.
And we finally found his gold with that goddamn clown.
Yeah, that goddamn
God, I
clown.
hope KO sees this. Just for this.
We'll probably send it to him. Yeah. Anywho, so all right, we start off, and you've got some really good stories of us hanging out in 2003, late 2003,
I mean, to be fair.
before the wrestling.
Well, yeah, and to be fair, we don't remember most of them because they were at Jake's. And we
No, that was later. I'm talking about when I was living in Abernathy.
Oh, yeah. When
And
we were riding
we were
around
going-
with, what's her name, the blonde?
Shannon.
Shannon, yes.
All right. So we have plenty of stories of going to the mall, going to the bowling alley, which we almost skipped that tab. We
Oh,
had,
my God, I forgot about the bowling alley.
yeah. So
Wow.
plenty of stories that you could give
God,
shit.
I finally hit a place in age where I've forgotten things.
All right. So let's go ahead with the blonde and the mall incident that you so eloquently like to remind me of.
You like to bring it up because allegedly he likes to say that I bitched out in this situation, which, to be fair, yes, I did. However, the reason I bitched out was because I refused to fight a fight that someone else causes for no goddamn reason.
All right. Now that fight consisted of what and how?
On that end, I don't fully remember. I do remember Shannon talking shit to those guys. However, I do not remember if they said something. Like I said, I don't remember the specifics of it. I do remember that I was like, I'm not going to fight this because she fucking started it.
Okay, well,
On that end.
I will add in, and then you come out. So we're walking through the mall, and I think we were just coming from the cake place.
cake or hot, like something like
It was cake. Because I was eating double chocolate cake.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And we walked past 2, maybe 3 big old, we'll say African American descent, very large men, bigger than us.
They might have thrown spears.
And the
They might like watermelon.
the at the time fiance, put your eyes back in your head, you motherfucker. And that set it off, and they started talking shit. Now, your side of it.
So, okay, now that you say that, I do remember that end of it. Yes, and the long and short of it, don't stare at people and be creepy and stuff like that. However, also in the public place, don't just turn your head and talk shit and then expect the two gentlemen with you to handle what you just started.
Correct. And I will take your back on that 100%. But normally, when a girl says, put your eyes in your head, you motherfucker, and these
Again, they
two
were-
large,
they-
older,
Well, and again, they were being, in the looking aspect of it, they were being disrespectful.
Yeah.
But they didn't say shit until
they didn't
she
until
did.
she poked the bear. And guess who it had to come to? All right. So in certain situation and aspect, they turn around. What the fuck did you say? Whoa. All right. We were 19, 20 at the time.
Somewhere in there, yes.
1920. All right. She was 17. Going on 18. Or no, she was almost 18.
God, I forgot she was that much younger than us.
Yes. Yeah. Met her in high school. So.
Well, no, but like I remember going to bars and like she couldn't drink in at first because we were just new friends.
We couldn't
and I-
drink then either.
Well, I could.
We couldn't legally.
Okay, yes, legally.
But not so.
We're not throwing it.
So they turn around and they start talking smack to me.
Yeah, they basically disregard her
And went
for saying
straight
like put your eyes back in your head. Then they immediately start talking shit to him
Me.
and me.
right. Hey, you need to handle your bitch. Woo. Kinda, sorta, not cool, right? You just don't say that. Well, Blake gives me the credit forever and always does, and thank you, while I'm eating a slice of triple layered chocolate fucking cake.
I knew you were eating something. I couldn't remember what
I
it
was
was.
eating chocolate cake, and he goes, "You got a problem?" I go, "Yeah, I do." Calling my lady a bitch. Well, you need to handle your bitch. Da 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 da. And well, the reason for the story is because you go, I'm not a part of this. I didn't start this. I'm not a part of it, and you should have.
Well, but the other part of it was too, I was on probation at the time.
Touche.
And if I really didn't have to, I was very apprehensive. Like even like in work, like worked in bars, like kicking people out, I was very apprehensive about doing certain things that like may or may not fuck up my probation if I didn't really have to.
Correct. But I honestly feel in my gut and my soul, because you are essentially my other half in a way. But if it would have came to blows, you would have been
No,
there.
in that aspect, yes.
But
Again, the have to.
Just for what started it, you're like, no, fuck this. I didn't start this shit.
Well,
Because
also it's at the mall. There's
they were fucking huge.
It's not even that, dude. I've kicked out dudes way bigger than that out of a bar. It was in the mall. There's a lot of people around.
We were 19.
Yeah, but dude, by that time I'd already kicked people out of the bar multiple. That's where I got that scar where that dude hit me with the fucking pool stick. Like,
But we were
on that aspect, it didn't matter. The size did not bother me.
We were not in that mode. We weren't looking for that.
Well,
It just happened because of,
well, and also remember, I didn't like Shannon.
well,
That was the other part. Like, hey, she started this. Fuck her.
you've never liked any broad I've ever fucking.
Shit, no, she started that with me. Remember?
Yeah, well, true. Anywho, so after this, the qualm ends, And we
With no real incident.
no incident happened, no fights. They walk off, we walk off, and there's a little video CD place right around the corner that we were going to anyway. And we went in there.
The one by the pet shop.
No, it's
the other one that's not there anymore.
yeah, right. But we went to that little CD video store, and she went off to go look at something. And you go, dude, I will not take a punch for her, but that was the funniest shit I've ever seen. You ate a piece of cake and said, yeah, I got a problem.
And it was because of these smart ass way. Like I said, I remember him eating something, and I just remember him holding it without meaning to, like, very overly dramatic, but it just happened to be the way he was eating. It was like right here. Like just very without me, and he didn't do it on purpose. That's what made it so fucking funny.
It was natural. It was real.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was natural, but you were being uber disrespectful without meaning to.
Correct. And I have lived my life that way ever since. Because you know what? Come at me all you want.
Well, I mean, it'd been different if like someone came at you respectful, but like you were being disrespectful without thinking of it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
true.
Like you're saying, like kind of on a natural instance or deal, but just like natural and and
Yep.
the over dramatic without meaning to be dramatic.
So think about it from the other side. This motherfucker was eating cake and talking shit back. Okay, so that's that story. And the only thing I said to him is like, dude, why did you disappear? I'm not taking a swing for that bitch. Not with those two big ass dudes. And over time, over the past 21 years, I'm going to have to say, no, fuck. Yeah, 21 years from when that happened, because it was in 2003. I'm going to have to say, yeah, you had no business and worry about that.
Well, and also like I said a minute ago, she didn't like me. So like it was either the week or 2 weeks. It was very recent. I didn't have a car at the time. He was giving me a ride from work, and she was in the front seat, and she blatantly said, "Why is he fucking here again? I don't fucking like him." And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so like that was still sticking in my
Resonating.
head. So I was like,
All right, let's move on a little bit. Fast forward. I mean, we obviously have worked together. And then how about the rekindling where I rescued you on the way back from vacation and brought you back to Lubbock, Texas?
so
You son of a bitch.
So what was they?
You were working for Kirby.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of how this started. So, I was like, again, like 1920, right? And it was
1920.
well, I mean, in that area, because it was before I went to Phoenix, remember? And I turned 21 in Phoenix, so it was 1920 somewhere in there.
It was 2003, 2004.
Yeah, because like I said, I turned 21 in Phoenix. That'd be 05, and then I was only
Right.
there for a year. So, I was going through the one as trying to find a job, right? I'm a kid. I don't really know what I want to do, or don't even know really how to make money, sort of deal. There's this thing in the paper that says Cairo Enterprises, Kyro. Okay, it's like, oh, that's a weird way to spell Cairo, and it's like very vague. And like now, being older, I see the way they worded it and stuff like that. So I go to this warehouse not far from my house, over by where the old Sam's is here in Lubbock, Texas, over off what is that? Marcia Sharp.
Yeah, it's gone now.
No, but it's like, what is it? A home something or other?
Well, it was a side step right there. It used to be Sam's, and now it's New Home.
New Home. There you go.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a bunch of business behind it. So I go to this warehouse, and there's like a bunch of us. There's like 15, 20 of us. We go in there. This thing turns out to be a door-to-door Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman thing. So I mean, like, everyone knows what door-to-door sales are, like that whole thing. And they lured me in with if you sell this, you can make X amount of what's it called? Fucking
Commission.
Commission. There you go. Well, this dude. So Cairo. The reason I point out that it was Kyro. Cairo. This guy's name was Cody Robertson, like that. So that's where the Cairo. Can't remember his name. The letters from it became that, but it was door-to-door sales. Okay, which everyone knows is a huge fucking hustle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, huge
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah,
pyramid
no,
scheme.
not Ponzi. Pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme, right? But you know, like I'm a kid. You know, I don't know you better, and it's
And you got out of town.
the hope of, well, that came later. The hope of, oh, I can make this X amount of commission for selling one vacuum cleaner, right? You know, right? You know,
Oh.
sounds stupid to everyone that know, but you know, I'm 19, I don't know any better. So he ends up, I don't really remember how this happened, but like he had a drug problem, and so the one here kind of like folded. But like me and like 3 other dudes were like, oh, y'all are like our best salesmen, y'all, because I did make some decent money off of it. Well, we're going to Midland. Okay, cool, let's go to Midland, and like y'all are gonna be my salespeople, blah blah blah. Cool. Well, we go to Midland, and for I think 2 or 3 months, literally lived in a abandoned office building on blow up mattresses
Yep.
with no heating, no air. Like at one point, because it was so hot and I was sitting in a leather chair, we were playing video games because we didn't have anything to do. I had zits all over my back from being that sweaty sort of deal. And like, we'd be there for days before we'd go out on a sales thing, right? Well, you know, eventually I kind of smartened up. I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm essentially homeless. I'm not making any money except for what Homeboy buys for us. And like, I was honestly the second to last guy to leave. Like I said, there were like 4 of us that went with him. 2 of the guys left within a couple weeks. Me and the other guy stayed for quite a bit longer. I left about a month before he left. Well, I called him, and he just happened to be coming in from out of town.
I was coming back from Seguin.
Seguin.
Yep.
And I was like, hey man, like, is there any way you can come fucking get me?
Yeah.
And like, you know, I didn't own shit. You know, I'm 19, 20. You know,
No car, no
Yeah,
license.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I had a license. It just expired. I was on probation. I didn't need a license. Whatever. So he came and got me. Lived with him for a little bit. Started working.
In my T-Bird.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, my
That's
Pearl
right.
T-Bird.
The one one night we went out drinking, threw up out of.
We found the art of driving and throwing up while driving.
Yeah, with multiple McChickens.
Yes.
Back when dollar menus were a thing. We're that
Yeah.
old.
You could fucking eat like a king for $12.
Yeah, when the dollar menu was a thing, if you could get a McChicken, just regular McChicken.
And
But if, you,
double
but if you add cheese and bacon to it, it's only $1.75 in 2004.
Yeah, that's right.
So we get a shit ton of them.
So I'm on my way back, and he's calling me. He's like, hey, man, I need to get back home.
Oh, I forgot. When I first moved in, I went for another Kirby thing here for like 2 or 3 weeks, remember?
Yeah, you try to transfer for...
Because another guy that supposedly was better.
yeah.
That only lasted for a couple weeks, and then I went back to Caboose, but it wasn't the 50th Street Caboose, it was the Caboose on Avenue Q, the ghetto one.
And then you got caught in the fucking... you got caught in the office. Anyways, so I go out of my way, off my trip, off my line, to pick him up. He said,
Yeah,
all right.
my brother comes and gets me.
I said, I will be there by 5:50. He goes, all right, I'll probably be there about 6:15. So I go, wait at a restaurant, message, no return, call, no return.
Well, because I didn't have a cell phone, it was on the landline at the office building that I was living at. Like, that's the only way I had a way to
No,
get...
you had your cell phone.
No,
You
I
had your
didn't.
flip phone. Yeah,
Nope.
you did.
No.
Because that's how I talk to you. This is how the memory goes. Okay. So, anywho, finally he shows up or calls me back.
No, the cell phone was my buddy Kevin's, the other guy that left after
Right,
I did.
that
It
was the
wasn't. Yeah,
phone.
it wasn't. That's what it was. It wasn't my cell phone.
So finally, you answer at 9 something at night.
But
So
look-
I've been waiting there for damn near 4 hours.
Yeah, because me and Kevin got separated, so I didn't have access to a way to get a hold of him. Because when I called him initially to come pick me up, it was from the office phone at the office place we were staying at. Well, me and Kevin went out that day, and I was like, okay, I'll make a little bit more money, or try to, before I go with Travis. And that didn't happen, but me and Kevin got separated on sales calls, whatever, because we were the only 2 left.
So finally get him. we meet up at the office where you're living. And so I go in there and help you pack up. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Straight up homeless squatting hermit for a business. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I got to get you out of here. I got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
Yeah, I think when
condo.
I saw him on the phone, I think he thought I was over exaggerating.
No, I got there and I said, this is not livable. Get your ass home.
Yeah,
I'll take care of it.
Like the only way we could shower was when we went to the owner's. Well, I mean, I say that the owner's house, but only he was like never there. 'Cause like I said, he had a bad drug problem. It was only if his wife happened to be home and let us shower. It was bad.
You also said every now and again when y'all would go to gas stations that had truck stop showers.
No, we'd walk to it because Kevin didn't have a car either.
Yeah.
Because he was actually in a worse spot than I was. He sold his truck before we left Lubbock to have a little bit of money before we went to Midland. So like he got fucked over a little bit more than I did.
So eventually we get all the way back to Lubbock. Neither one of us is old enough to drink.
Doesn't matter.
We still get there, and he's living with me for a little while, and we invent rock, shovel, home run derby, as well as playing Guitar Hero 1.
And also cheating at cards and still losing.
Yeah.
Strip
but
poker specifically.
That got us some good.
Technically, we didn't lose in the long run, but we lost the
Nope,
game.
We didn't.
We lost the game, though.
Yeah, we did. So we had to get naked and sit there.
And on the Guitar Hero aspect, some people have anger problems and they break guitars. And I would have been more mad if I had paid for it, but it was his.
So he didn't care. But you learned how to play it on your fucking remote PlayStation 2. You played it with
Yeah,
the
but I had to
remote.
play it on easy because that's the only way I could do it on the remote. I couldn't do anything above that.
So, yeah, so we went through that. And then after that, you went to Arizona. You went to Phoenix back with your mom.
For a year, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't hear from you forever. And quite frankly, I didn't hear from you again until
It was about,
right around the Daniel time.
well, it was about a year and a half because I came back and then, I didn't have anyone's number. 'Cause, like the way we have cell phones where numbers, like are always there.
Did you go to Phoenix before we had our last XBCW event? Or
You
was it
weren't part of
after?
XBCW yet.
Yeah, I was. Yes, I was.
Not with me.
Yes, I was.
No, because I was still champ.
No, I was because I
didn't think you were there when I was champ.
champ of what?
I was XBCW champion. When I left for Phoenix, I was still XBCW champion.
No, I was still a part of it. And
That's
they
what I'm saying.
ba-
I didn't think you wrestled with us when I was champ.
I was. Well, no, I was, and you had to vacate because you moved.
But I didn't vacate.
Well, then how in the hell did Daniel get the title?
Because one, the reason I became XBCW champion, I was the first person to ever beat Daniel because I'm really good at rock, paper, scissors. And two,
Way to break the fourth wall.
yeah, I don't know if y'all know this, wrestling is kind of predetermined. But I was the first person to beat him, and I was the only person to beat him until I came back from Phoenix. And I specifically avoided him while I would still talk to him on the phone and text him, but I specifically hid the title and would talk shit to him because he couldn't get a hold of it because I was the only person that beat him. And Daniel could not get a hold of me. Well, I mean, he could get a hold of me like physically and talk to me, but he didn't know where the belt was.
All right, so let's go to the last XBCW event when we were all supposed to retire except for Daniel. Like me, you, Dennis. Dennis was about to have a kid. I was planning on going on other things in
Well, me and
life.
Daniel were supposed to go to Rampage, but I was dating that Lindsay chick and I couldn't afford it.
Well, Daniel went to Rampage,
but I was supposed to go with him, is what I'm saying.
and still, our last Rampage or our last XBCW event,
Also known as Sunburn.
also known as Hot as Fuck.
And we can't hear anything on audio because it's windy.
Yeah, that was.
And we said some golden shit.
Yeah, I can't post that video because of the copyright infringement for the music that we used to play. It's unfortunate.
So we were very, for those of you that are a little bit younger, I'm sure you've heard of ECW. So ECW's big thing, where they were very grunge in the 90s. So, they did the hardcore wrestling with the tables.
Somebody
and-
else's music.
Well, but the thing was that they used real music, not something that the promotion produced. They used real music. Like Tommy Dreamer, for instance, came out to Man in a Box. Raven came out to The Offspring, come out and play. Everyone used real songs.
RVD came out to Pantera.
Yeah, like RVD could like Walk. And they could get away with that because back then, wrestling wasn't big enough necessarily like it is now, where it's like, you know, like WWE's a huge conglomerate. It's on the NASDAQ, shit like that.
And it wasn't on a national televised. It was
Well,
only-
that too. They were considered the third biggest, but they were small enough where they could do that, even though they were on TV and pay-per-view and stuff, that no one went after them for the cop. Well, and also it wasn't really a big thing back then.
Not then, because that was back in the day of barely Napster.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so the Napster thing, you know, where like Lars and all those guys went
Yeah,
after
no-
Napster for,
nobody-
for the copyright thing.
Nobody
It wasn't
really
really
gave a shit.
that big of a deal
Because they weren't aiming for it.
Well, and also the internet wasn't really a thing yet. Like Facebook wasn't a thing yet. Like we were all on MySpace still, right? And AOL still dial-up and
Yahoo
shit.
Messenger.
Yeah, shit like that. So there was no, oh, there's music on here. Oh, you can't use that because we copyright. That wasn't a thing until the Napster suing thing with Lars from Metallica, and I can't remember who all else, but he
That
was
was
like
2003, yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of what started that copyright thing.
Right, but even right now, like, that playing in the background is probably going to get me copywritten
Yeah, you're gonna have
and
to.
demonetized.
Yeah. This song in the background, like
We do not own the rights to this. It's just playing at a local bar, which they pay for the BMI.
yeah, it's on our Sirius, like here in Lubbock, Texas.
It's paid
Well,
for.
If it's loud enough, we'll edit it out, you know. But we'll see. But that didn't used to be a thing back then because there was no precedence.
All right, back to
There's no precedent.
XBCW. Last event. Tell me your giveaways, your takeaways. Because I've shown you the video.
Yeah.
We've watched it.
So
Not entirely,
Well,
but-
hold on. So one, you're gonna have to remind me. Is this the one where I did the really cool elbow off the ladder?
Yes.
And I was the first person to tap out. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so XBCW is just all of us. Well, just not by design. No one ever tapped out. Like that. It just never happened. Everyone got pinned. So this is supposed to be our last thing. So let's do stuff that we've never done as a group. So I volunteered. I was like, hey, tap me out. So back then, before he was a murderer, Chris Benoit, we all loved him. And even though we don't agree with his personal choices, he is still one of the best of all time.
The greatest in the ring.
Lies. Kurt Angle's better. Do you want to talk about the video game?
Shut your hole.
Anyway,
Personal dispute.
Kurt Angle had all of his teeth.
Who's
That's all I'm
fucking
saying.
watching right now? Oh, Charles is up. Charles says, "What's up, fellas? We live." Yes, we are live, brother.
Wait, is that CP?
Yeah, that's CP.
Why is that a white guy?
I don't know.
That looks like a white dude. He knows we don't have any watermelon, right?
Oh my god. No barbecue chips. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, CP's watching us right now.
No, but so anyway, so me and Dennis, if I remember correctly, it was for the XBCW title, and I'd already lost it at this point.
It was one of them because he came in as AJ Michaels in a mask.
But he was the champ, right? If I remember correctly.
No.
'Cause So I had it for years because I went to Phoenix, and then I lost it back to Daniel, and then Dennis beat Daniel when I did the flipping pile driver when I first learned how to do it, and then Dennis
Correct.
beat him with that sidewalk sign that always pissed me off on the sidewalks, the stop sign. I was like, really, that's your finish, you fucking idiot.
Correct.
So when we wrestled, it was for the title, right? Or am I remembering that incorrectly? I think it was.
Every match we had was a title match.
But that's what I'm saying, that specific one where he tapped
Like,
me
I
out,
got-
because it was best 2 out of 3. That was the whole point.
No, that was mine. Y'all didn't have 2 out of 3.
Yes, we did. That's why you tapped me out, because then.
Nope.
Yeah,
that was mine. Nope. The only 2 out of 3 match that ever came was the final match with me and Daniel, and Dennis had to come out and change it.
No, ours was 2 out of 3 when he tapped me out. 'Cause the first fall was him tapping me out. The second one was the elbow.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
I'll pull the video up.
Pull it.
No, sir.
I.
I'll pull it up, but I can't do it while I'm live. What Charles
So
say?
this is a 20,
Charles says,
this is
haha,
this is a $20 bet
you
that
don't
I'm about
want
to
me
win.
to put up? You don't want me to put up? Yeah, that's what I used to look like when I had hair. Look at you being a dick. That's how it was when I was 22 and it was fading.
He's about to come out with his new emo album. His name is Night Pain.
Yeah, Charles, get your ass up here. Fuck it.
Ew, who the fuck are you?
Anywho,
Anyway.
so back to the match. I'm gonna have to disagree. We'll pull up the match after the live, but your takeaway from that event, because you didn't always get to make it to every event.
That's true.
There are some times that I had to take your place.
So specifically when I was working for Caboose, because we didn't have a set schedule, and I can't ask off for wrestling. They're not going to accept that because I tried.
You could have said
There was
family.
three. No, because everyone knew we backyard wrestled. That was the problem. Because everyone knew Daniel and
But
Nick.
going back now to this day, us being in there,
Like, I could do it here.
yeah, but even then you could have been like, hey, I have a family obligation. I have to do it.
No, because they knew. That was the
But
problem.
was it worth it?
No, but that's the
You
problem.
would have been there if you could have.
No, that's the problem. I could lie because they knew.
That's not a lie.
They knew what I was doing.
It doesn't matter.
They would let me off.
I'll be there at fucking 8 o'clock.
They wouldn't let me off because they knew what I was doing.
Anywho.
Because
Alright.
when Daniel would come up there, we'd talk about it constantly. That's why I could never lie and be like, oh, I'm sick, I can't come in today.
Oh.
That's why I couldn't do that.
He said, you don't want to pull me up. How do I pull you up, Charles?
I'm not pulling you anywhere. And frankly, I don't appreciate the euphemism.
Charles, I don't know how to pull you up.
Oh, are you trying to call us?
Well, he wanted me to pull him up. CP, CP is my co-host. I don't know how to pull you up. Let's see. No,
You and CP wait a cotton pick a minute. I'm going to go get a shot.
Hey, grab me around while you're at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Full round?
Yeah, both.
Here.
Yeah. All right. So, CP, you're the only one watching. Sorry, I didn't say that. Okay. So, as my memory serves, that event, which we hadn't wrestled with Blake in a long time because he had been out of town, busy. So, quite frankly, everything was just like, hey, is this guy ring worthy? Has he got rust? Is he still up to point? It's a question mark. But we get his ass in there, and just like clockwork, walking in the ring, because this was one of the only days, because most of the time with XBCW, we would have a workout day 1, maybe 2 days prior to the event. We would all show up, and we would, work out our storylines, our matches, who's a who, and we work out our finishes, and just make sure everybody's up to par. Because there was a time where my shoulder, same one that's still fucked to this day, I could not wrestle because my shoulder was bad. Stupidly, I still did a small match and did it, but we would still go to points and we would try and work things out. So this was one of the only ones that we didn't have a pre-workout, pre-talk, sponsor break, right? There you go, Charles. We didn't have a pre-workout day to really, it was all over just flip phone text messaging. Hey, I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of that. But it wasn't like get in there and, so for what we went through, because I wrestled everybody, every single person. Blake wrestled every single person. The only person I didn't wrestle was KO. He only had one match. But everybody wrestled each other except for KO and Daniel. So we go to the event. It's hot as balls. I'm thinking it was like, good God, it had to have been late July, early August in West Texas heat. Now, all the fans had canopies to sit under, but the commentating booth, the wrestlers, no, we didn't have that shit. It was just sweat your balls off, and it was just so blasted hot. The wind in West Texas is loud, so it was just really uncomfortable. However, I had to do a back-to-back, which is really hard when you wrestle, especially, speaking of CP,
Got
there he
that
is.
watermelon for me?
Hey, look, he was
What
just
up?
talking. It's
That's how
my
you do it.
co-host,
That's how
none
you do
other than I didn't say watermelon, he did.
I know you said them chips. I still
Yeah.
want those barbecue chips now.
No, I ate them motherfuckers last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
So you can get some more?
I can.
Yeah, do that.
All right, cool. Hey, CP's here. Yeah, they're gonna set up. I'm gonna keep talking
Yep.
because I'm live.
You live. You live, baby.
Yeah, we're live, baby. Anywho, so with it being so damn hot, not having time to work, and not having time to make sure ring rust is out, because at this time we had not wrestled in probably about 2 years, maybe a year, maybe 2 years tops. But we all had personal things going, and just we couldn't get the time. So we go out there on that hot late July, early August freaking day and sweat our guts out. I mean, we had to take plenty of pauses for the cause just to keep our asses hydrated. And when you go back to back matches, so I had just finished up a match with Dennis, and then turn around and had to have another match with Blake. I was already just gassed. We had a live audience, so quite frankly, you just gotta go to keep people entertained, because hey, it's not intermission yet. So I am just beat to all hell. I am gassed like nobody's business. I'm dehydrated. And the only thing I tell Blake is just get your work in. Give me a breather. I'll take second lead. I'll take third lead to finish. And even in the point where it went a little longer to getting to third finish, he was like, hey man, you got to do something. I'm burning up. And I said, I know. I'm just out of gas. He goes, all right. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3 this. You're gonna do your spot, and here we go. Ugh. So I get up and I do it. Mind you, we've all already wrestled once, twice. Some of us even wrestled 3 times to this point. But Blake, like a champ, carried me and made sure that I caught my breath. He got his spots. I got my spots. And we had a safe, secure match. So, Blake, I was just talking about our match where I ran out of breath. And I was like, hey man, you're gonna have to take the slack.
Is this the one where you had to wrestle like 2 in a row?
Right.
And
correct.
we kind of knew that going in though.
Right, but I was also talking about the heat, because
Oh,
how bad
yeah.
it was, and it wasn't intermission yet. But
And also because we had no
We had no
trees, no
Nothing.
nothing.
we were out in the fucking dirt.
We used so much water, just like pouring it on ourselves, like not drink, just like on us. Like, it was bad.
So Blake did me a favor after I just finished a match that he commentated for.
He says favor, but
He did me the favor. He got his spots in. He carried me until I caught my breath, because he, as I said, in the middle of the match, he's like, dude, I'm getting winded. It's your turn. And I'm like, okay, give me a second. And you worked your frame.
that's what I'm saying. He says carried. We had we always have like a general plan, just like, real wrestlers. You have a general plan, and then you work out other things like, oh, let's try this.
But this
whatever.
time, as I
But,
said,
like,
we didn't ever get to work out.
Well, no,
before.
I mean, we talked about stuff, but then he told me before, and we kind of like talked about it. It was like, dude, you might be winded. And originally, it was like, oh, it should be fine, but it was so goddamn hot.
Yeah, we didn't expect
that
he didn't
changed.
mix.
And so, we all have our spots and moves you do, but eventually you run out of ideas. Especially because in XBCW, there's only like 4 or 5 of us at any given time. Well, we're different characters, so you may have all these different moves that you do, but you spread them out per persona. I get,
People.
right?
Yep.
So, there's like that's what I'm saying. Like he's being very generous in saying carrying, and I mean, there's 1,000 different things I could have done, but that
You had to save it for the next match.
Well, not necessarily say, but it would fit someone else
That
that came
persona.
later or already happened.
Right. Like, because there's only so many times you can see a suplex
Or a
and say-
DDT or
Or-
stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Or a drop
That's
kick.
what I'm getting at.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was struggling there for a minute. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're being very generous about saying carrying.
You
Like,
did. Because I was so burnt from Dennis's
Well, no,
match prior.
I mean, in the general sense, yes, I guess, but you're being very generous in saying carrying.
Well, you did. You carried me. Like, you gave me my breath. You
Well, I mean, if
carried
you're talking
it.
about like when I put him over my shoulder, yes, I did carry him, and luckily he was small, not like Dennis, that fat piece of shit, redheaded buttfucker.
I was actually the lightest out of everybody at that time. I was like 180.
That's why when I gave you that powerbomb, I snapped your spine, and I felt so bad.
No, it was the one that the one that Daniel was supposed to do the fish fucker, but he wanted to do the carry awesome bomb almost outsider's edge, and I tried to hook for the fish fucker, and he said, "Don't do that." And
No, hold on, stop. You have to
right
explain-
there on
no,
my.
hold on. You have to say what the fish fucker is.
All right, so the fish fucker is you flip them up in the setup for the power bomb, but you drop them on their face behind you. So
So it's like what's it called? An alley-oop, kind of.
correct.
Except when in
So I go over his head and fall out.
in popular terms, Jeff Hardy and the Big Show do this, but when they do it, they pick you up in a power bomb, and then they pause for a minute, like it looks like you would do a power bomb, and then they fall backwards. Well, the way Daniel would do it, because he hated all of us, is he would just fucking fling your ass.
But
Because
this-
I made the mistake in high school showing him how to do suplexes because I couldn't do them, but I taught him how, and then he never stopped.
But to the fish fucker part is he told me, he was like, all right, hit the ladder, hit the spot, hit you with the fish fucker, carry you to the fish fucker. Well, the fish fucker didn't go. And when he carried me, I was like, wait, we're supposed to do this on the ground. And then he just powerbombed me on my tailbone. And he goes, don't do that. I'm like, this is supposed to be the fish fucker. You messed up the spot, not me. So... But now back to Blake on the last event that we had. And then let's fast forward after that. Your mindset, your takeaway of what we had that time. And then let's go to our Daniel Memorial.
So the Daniel Memorial problem was we were so goddamn out of shape.
Finish up with the first one. Finish up with the retirement.
Okay, so but I mean, part of that is the discrepancy.
It was a great show.
So when I was the first person to ever tap out, I'm very proud of taking that hit. But also, I did the most beautiful elbow drop in the history of wrestling.
Off of a 6-foot ladder.
No, you come here and get on camera. It was gorgeous.
It was very...
Shawn Michaels and Macho Man would have been proud. And I absolutely did not protect Dennis whatsoever. I destroyed that man.
But you did not protect your hip either.
Oh,
it looked bad.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't mean to hit him the way I did. So, for those of you that don't know, when you do an elbow drop off the top rope, when you land, and any of you can watch this when Macho Man, Shawn does that, usually your legs and your hip kind of roll, and you basically hit the person with your armpit. I was more concerned about just jumping as high as I fucking could and floating, which I absolutely did.
You did. I have the picture.
I flew, and then I absolutely broke him without meaning to.
In the
except-
sternum.
Except I didn't feel bad because he. And Dennis, I hope you see this because you would always get so gassed, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, why do you think, and moving, speaking of gas, but moving to the Daniel Memorial and our final match, we're not going to cover everything else, but what we were all involved in, the final, because we only needed one.
So to preface what he's talking about, our friend Daniel passed, and we did one last match with all of us. And essentially the match started with us essentially all betraying each other.
Hey, let's take shots. Let's do this.
And I did something that, you know, I still watch wrestling. I did something that I could have definitely done in my youth. And instead of doing it correctly, I smacked Travis in the face and made him bleed. And
No, you need me in the fucking nose.
no, that's what I said. I did something that in my youth I could have done correctly because I saw it and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I could do this. And then I realized because I'm fat.
And mind you, we didn't have any planning whatsoever.
No.
No workouts. We're all out of shape. At the time, this was what, 6 years ago?
The only planning, I told him, I'm going to put my arm around you, just stand there. Because in, you know, when we used to wrestle all the time, I could have absolutely done this move and he would have been fine. Instead, I full on kneed this man in the face. And
Piss me the fuck off.
realistically, I felt horrible.
Piss me off.
But-
I literally
but-
broke kayfabe. What the fuck?
And me being me, because we're in a match, even though everyone knows, I was like, what? What? I legit, though, I don't even think I've told you this, I legit felt
He sold it perfectly.
I felt so bad.
It looks so real that
Because
Chris,
it was.
yeah, it looks so real that, like, reaction wise, that Crystal, the owner of Shotzi's, said, Travis, I thought you were gonna fucking lose it and start fighting. He hit you so hard and busted your nose. I go, yeah, he fucking did, but I still had a show to do.
No, actually, realistically, I thought he was going to, and I was fully prepared to take it. Because I legit, and like I said, I don't think I've told him until this day, I felt so bad. I really
I
did.
never gave you a receipt though.
No, you didn't. Dennis tried, not on purpose.
But why wasn't Dennis there? Like, talk about that.
He was with us.
You already talked about it.
He was at the reunion show.
No. Why didn't he be a part more than we were?
Oh, okay, so this fat piece of shit. And again, Dennis, I love you, you fat piece of shit.
You're in here.
So, if you watch the YouTube video, XBCW, you can see Dennis, who has never done a powerbomb that I remember. I might be wrong. Dennis, I'm assuming you're going to watch this at some point. If you did, correct me. I know I tried a lot back in the old days, and the first time I finally did it was on him at the Daniel's Memorial, and that's why I was when you were gassed and you were like, dude, just do something to Travis, and I picked him up and he was so mad because I wrenched him so hard because I didn't think I could get him, because every time I tried to do it to you or Daniel, I could never get it right, so I wrenched you way harder than I should have. And I remember you saying, like, dude, that hurt the fuck out of my ribs. Like, my bad, dude. Like, first time I ever done a powerbomb. But so Dennis is trying to, I think Dennis was trying to do a powerbomb. I think, Dennis, again, if you're watching this, correct me. I think you're doing a powerbomb. And it was a combination of you suck and I was chunky and your timing has always been bad. And we just had missed timing. And you went, you fat piece of shit. And then I just dropped you. And then I believe, did I hit him with something after that? Or
No, you stomped and I came in with a drop kick.
is that when, okay.
And that's when I cracked my rib.
I thought the rib came from when I powerbombed you.
No, I did the stop sign bit where I did the drop kick to the stop sign.
Right,
with
the
Dennis,
RVD thing, yeah.
And that cracked my damn rib and I couldn't breathe for like.
Oh, well,
and
then
then we set the spot over.
Oh, well, then I don't feel as bad. I thought, well, maybe it just hurt your rib. I remember on the powerbomb, you told me, like, you wrenched me so fucking hard. Because,
you pulled my gut.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought that.
But we had such a small place to work on.
Oh, we did. But I did hit
And
the
it was
most
so
beautiful RKO.
And who sold that?
And also, I got to hit a code breaker on someone on their
And
knees.
guess who sold that? Beautifully.
And what's funny is, even though I need him in the face earlier, this time when I put my knees into his face, he was fine.
But guess what? What did Dennis sell?
I DDT'd him once.
But what did he sell?
Wheezing.
How about when we finally
Like
said,
you ever heard like a really fat fuck at a buffet that has a deficiency?
yeah, that's us nowadays.
No. This was Dan.
We can't breathe.
No,
we
you know-
walked up to the buffet. We can't breathe.
No, actually, you know that scene in Forrest Gump when the principal is
Oh,
fucking
and he's
his
banging the mom.
Okay, so take that down a couple octaves. That's Dennis breathing.
Giggity.
No, not giggity.
Oh, no, I like
Redheaded-
it.
Redheaded butt fucker. Just laying on the side.
Redheaded
Again,
fuckers.
y'all can see this for a fact on YouTube. He just laying on the side, just wheezing.
And just honestly, if you look at the match, I think it was only like 9 minutes altogether, which normally we would do 15s, and the 9 minutes that was on there was actually us pouring the beers. And
Well, then also
everything
me and
else.
you had to come up with a bunch, like when you put me through the table. Like we're gonna do that anyway, but we had to come up with some shit. Like you, was it you that did the shitty behind the knee? Just you had to do it on the cusp.
Yes, yeah, I kicked you behind the knee.
Yeah, so he
for
did,
you to
he
do
did
the
this
drawback.
really stupid spot, but it was just he had to do something.
I did. I had to get you out of the point.
Well, but this
so
because
Dennis-
it's because Dennis
could
couldn't
leave.
fucking breathe. Dennis was supposed to do something, and he was behind us to set up something else. Where
Dennis missed every spot except for the finish.
well, no, so this was the one that was supposed to set up the table when you did the
Correct.
So,
But
so-
Dennis showed up for my.
but I'm saying the reason you did the shitty kick was because you had to come up with something right then.
Wasn't shitty.
Oh, yes, it was.
I connected.
It looked bad.
No.
It looked weak.
Really? We'll watch it.
No, it looked. But again, it's because he had to come up with it right then. Because so what was supposed to happen? If it, he
You
was
and
going to
Dennis were supposed
he
to.
was going to put me through the table, which did happen. But what was supposed to happen before that was me and Dennis were supposed to do something else, and Dennis is telling me I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe because he's wheezing, and I think he's eating a chicken wing at some point. I'm not 100% sure. Wait, no,
That was funny.
so there was a biscuit. He was eating something because he's fat. So,
He was eating air. He was eating air.
no, I don't think we had any cotton candy.
All right, continue.
But so again, this is why it looked shitty because he had to just do something.
But I did connect.
No, okay, so he
You
did.
hear the sound.
No, but when you see me, I have to look like, did someone hit me? Oh shit, yes.
Yeah, you gave out. Left
Well,
foot.
because again, we had to you had to do something.
Right, because he rolled off and was like,
This happened a lot.
very much so. This guy said he couldn't finish a match because of a broken toe and had to call in his tag team partner to win the title.
Yeah, when
because of a broken freaking toe.
No, when he won the title, the second person to beat the longest reigning XBCW champion after me, I did a flipping pile driver because we figured out how to do it. Great move, right? This is when it was new, and P.D. Williams was the only person that fucking did it.
Yeah, like 2008.
I did it. I did it because me and Dennis were a team.
And that was through a table.
No, that was different.
Oh no,
That was a different character. That was a different character.
Oh well, the memorial event, or excuse me.
Not doing it about the memorial. I'm talking about when he won the title.
Okay,
The
all right.
shitty sidewalk slam.
Yeah, that
so
was
so I
so
do.
good.
So this is like a week after I figured out. Oh my god, we can do the flipping pile driver. Not only can I do it because it takes two people to do this. So one person has to person giving
But
it.
only Daniel took it.
Yeah, because he's the only one that can launch that far. Me and
Yeah.
you tried it and couldn't quite get it.
No, I
And Dennis
refused.
refused.
No.
I thought you tried.
I refused because I didn't want to put your neck on. I didn't want to put that in jeopardy. Dennis tried, but he didn't have the.
He
the
laid out
lung.
flat because he's fat. So it was like 2 weeks after we figured this out. At like 3 o'clock in the morning, we tried it twice, me and Daniel. First time, Second time, beautiful. Like P.D. Williams, the guy that invented this maneuver, fucking, because like I said, it takes two people to do it. The person giving it has to launch,
Slinging.
but the person taking it has to also
The same person
push on,
slings.
and then the momentum takes you over. And you're, you
But
know, it's
Daniel sold it so well with the
because
impact.
he did it just like, so this is when
He did it face first.
and this is when TNA was super popular, and he did it the way everyone in TNA sold it properly. He would take it and lay back and look fucking dead, and then just die like zombie.
No, I'm just putting it over.
Zombie layover. Daniel took it perfectly. So I do this amazing maneuver to cheat so my partner can win the title, right? He wins the title with a sidewalk slam on a stop sign.
And then after the video in the behind the scenes,
On
he
a
goes,
goddamn stop sign.
I did what I did with a broken freaking toe. Really? A broken freaking toe?
I took razor blades to my fucking head.
Hey, that's Forkside. Like, you know, come on now.
Yeah. I took razor blades to my head. It was so convincing that our friends and my ex-girlfriend that was there was like, is that real? Is he bleeding? Is that real?
That's what they said about Daniel's memorial about my head.
Except that was.
I don't know if it's real.
No, I was bleeding a lot. Well, one, because I was sweaty. It was just how wrestling,
Crimson Mask,
which is how wrestling works, but also because it was, hot as fuck. No, but I had the, not Crimson Mask, but I had the, I'll call it a waterfall.
So
the straight down.
Let me ask you, out of all three of us who have bled out of the four originals, Daniel, during the reign, which you ran in on for him to lose the title.
So
Daniel got busted open. I took him to get stitches.
I about to say, I just realized something. I might be the most unsafe worker.
You hit him with that chair.
He told me to.
I have it on my camera angle where you gig it, and then me, the memorial match where I had mine. How come that broken toe fat fuck has never bled?
Well, I can give you a very easy answer, because he was scared.
Is that what it is? We are almost at 1 hour. We have 3 minutes before the hour mark, and then we'll stop.
Like I admitted earlier, I busted his nose because I was fat and underestimated my jumping ability because I was old. Daniel, when I busted him open, is not my fault because he told me to. Very, very verbatim.
But he
Mankind and The Rock at Royal Rumble.
He loved it.
No, but he told me
He
to.
loved it. Lay it
Because
in.
I hit him twice, and he said, do it again. And he specifically told me, he's like, fucking do it.
I took him for the stitch.
And it was kind of like a dare, like, fucking do it. All right, motherfucker. Nah!
And then, of course, Dennis hit me on the memorial match.
But also on that same token, as I've made him bleed, and Daniel and Dennis runs away, so I never make him bleed, I've even made myself bleed. So there's this thing called a bear trap. And I know people are like, oh, a bear trap is a thing with... No. We invented this. So a bear trap is 3 2x4s wrapped in barbed wire. Mm-hmm. And if you get thrown in the middle of this thing, it closes in.
Yep.
Well, when you try to get out of it, you may not be able to see it now.
Yeah, there's too much fucking ink.
Oh, I got it covered for a reason. Yeah, that happens. It tears things.
All right, so with the last 1 minute and 45 seconds that we have, we're going to pause this live version. I'm Vader Saber 1984, also known as that drunk guy and his bullshit opinion, a.k.a. Psychosis, a.k.a. Travis, as he calls me. This is Blake, the Extreme fucking Turner. The man I have wanted to get on here for years and years. Here he is.
Give me a kiss. No. Give me a kiss. Someone to sweet me for the love of God.
Damn right. So, if you want more of this content, hit me up. And Dennis, you have to answer.
Fat bitch.
Quite frankly, I bet you a 6-pack the other day that you wouldn't show up for Daniel's birthday Saturday, and you didn't.
Well, a 6-pack for Dennis, it'd have to be light beer, right?
Anything he wanted. But he never showed up, as always.
To be fair, I don't show up either.
He's the king of no-show. You're taking on the mantle.
He caught me at a bar.
Yeah, I had to find him. All right. We're out of here for this one. Live version.
Dennis,
one and only.
No matter how much shit I talk about you, I love you, D.
CP's here.
Yo.
It's all wrestling, baby. It's all
Hard work, you know
fun.
what it is. was like, don't forget.